Hi, everybody. This is day 1603. 1603 days. And I'm coming on late because, to be honest with you, I didn't know how to present this. I don't think I have my head wrapped around this fully. And, this is 1603 days since Richard was premeditatedly murdered. That is fact. Code Red, that is fact. On Fort Bliss, that is fact. That the unit, that the military is involved in trafficking is fact. That they are connected to the absolutely deadly, bloody Walmart mass shooting, that's fact. Those are all confirmed. That Richard was reporting on the criminal activity and the trafficking, that's fact. That he was retaliated against, that he was targeted, that's fact. That Danae Katzen, Gonzalez Ambriz was one of those that targeted Richard. Our family, the investigation, and is now for the third time on the most wanted list, the El Paso most wanted list. That's a fact. And the connections, that we've long had. But it takes a long time when the very institutions there in El Paso, because it's supposed to be local, right? You're supposed to get local help. That's why we have representatives. Veronica Escobar was supposed to be the oversight on the local help. The DPS, Texas Rangers, was supposed to help. And now they have, right? Now we're getting all this information in. The El Paso police are supposed to help now. We're getting information in. It is, when you put all of the pieces together, what comes out is one big trafficking network right there on the border. Is anybody surprised? I don't think anybody's surprised. I think everybody knows that there was an infiltration into our law enforcement and judicial system and military that were trafficking, that they would murder a active duty whistleblower soldier. I think that's a little more shocking, right? Because that means that the level of the trafficking is so high, that the violations are so egregious that they're willing to murder, premeditatedly murder, code red murder, on a military installation murder, rush to the houses that they have all their contraband, they have all their contraband in these houses, that they have to clean up, or evidence. So all of that is coming out, the connections, and of course, the targeting of Richard, the retaliation. And I am so glad that I didn't give a flip what people said, what the military said, what the JAG said. about the framing of Richard, I was like, I don't care. Where is my son? They just try to bully you, harass you, give you all of these false narratives, make your eyes really swirly with all their psychobabble, their asymmetric warfare tactics. They just, I mean, try to mislead you this way and that way to cover up that there was a criminal trafficking group stealing from the American people, creating a bunch of crime, infiltrating our system. This is all like treason, right? This is all like treason. And that it was so profitable. It was so, what don't tell me it made them happy. Okay. Danae Katzen is not happy. Jonathan Ambrose is not happy. Leilani Hart is not happy. Dallas Hart is not happy. These are all miserable people. Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia is not happy. She's not happy. Thomas Hoffman is not happy. They're miserable people, absolutely miserable people. And, you know, Jay Pollan is a miserable person. Michael Roddick and Michael Ruggiero, all, you know, miserable people. So all what they do does not, uh, I guess they have some weird notion that if they just have a lot of money, if they just have a lot of power, or really it's for the money, right? That they can, I don't know, survive, that they could survive, that that's what it takes to survive because they're not doing it for the happiness, right? That, they're just surviving in their depravity, right? Their lawlessness. They're just surviving. And maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't see Amber Chase being happy. She's miserable, absolutely miserable. And the only thing that ever, makes them have a little energy is when they can get over on somebody, when they can tell somebody off. Let me at them. Let me at them. Let me go and get in their face. Let me go do a psyop on somebody. Let me lead them astray. Ha ha ha. They are the most miserable, evil people. And, so I don't think that these millions and billions of dollars, because it's billions and billions of dollars, the trafficking, I don't think it makes them happy. Um, and I don't care what they have, right? I don't care if they have a certain car or a certain whatever. I don't care. And I'm so glad I didn't care what they said with all their law enforcement training. I know how to I really know how to manipulate people and blah, 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 right? I really know how to lead them astray. Just think of how many people that they've done that to. It's so criminal. It's absolutely so criminal. And we're at over 4 years because of all of their tampering and manipulation, their interference, their targeting others, retaliation against others, um, false witness statements. Um, it just goes on and on what they have tried to do and to slow everything, well, to make this go away. But it has slowed things down, but it hasn't made it go away. We're here and now with the new administration coming, I think a lot of people, well, I know a lot of people are getting very nervous. They want to do the art of the deal. They want to do the art of the deal, and so they're coming forward. And of course, we've known for a while um, about Ray Velarde being Richard's attorney. Not by choice, by appointment. He was appointed Richard's attorney. And that's really what. Why is El Mayo's attorney Richard's attorney? Why is that? That's very suspicious. What in the world would a cartel drug trafficking uh representative, or what would you call that attorney? An attorney for a billionaire drug trafficking, or just trafficking period, because there's weapons trafficking too. Why would he want anything to do with a case like Richard's case, right? Well, that confirms that Richard was, well, we already have that confirmed. But this is another confirmation that Richard was reporting the trafficking. And you know I mean, if you're a trafficker that makes $1 billion, you're making loads of money, right? You're making 90 billion on just the drugs alone, and then you have another I don't know, another 40, 90 billion on this and that, and another I was reading through it, and it is just absolutely, why would a billionaire's lawyer want to be a lawyer for Richard's case? Maybe because I don't know, I don't like just maybe to manipulate it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe to make sure it goes the way he wants, and it is just amazing that Richard was just so awesome, so beautiful. And I'm talking about his character, that his character was so beautiful, that he just a sparkling clean with, here you are, a 20-year-old, just turning 21. Well, really 19, 20, 21. I mean, he was just not even a month into his 21st year when they brutally murdered him, dismembered him, um, transfer, transferred his remains to Mexico, some of it. Um, I mean, he was so awesome that they could not use their entrapments, like they tried to do January 6th. They tried to entrap all these people in January 6th. They tried to do the stampeding, making sure, would trample and people would get hurt. Absolutely 100% that happened. I was part of it. They were getting us close together, and then they shot tear gas in the middle of our crowd, no, several places in the crowd, to get us to panic, because we were so happy. We were just, we did not expect that at all. And they shot that tear gas to get us to panic, so that we would stampede, that we would hurt one another. And we didn't. That crowd had so much character, had so many awesome, awesome people. And I would say awesome men, because the men were calling out in the fog, in the, because you couldn't see, and your eyes are burning. You couldn't see. All you could do is hear. And they were calling out the directions, what to do to stay calm, and how to stay low, stay calm, stay low. Keep your eyes closed, stay calm, stay low, keep your eyes closed, grab your neighbor's hand. Let's move out of this slowly. Let's move out of this slowly. Do not panic. I was part of that. They were awesome. And there were cries in that. You had children in strollers. You had people in wheelchairs. You had veterans. And they tried to entrap. They tried to hurt. They tried to just be downright evil. And I've been saying that for years. For years. And I said it on that very day. On that very day that we got tear gassed. And this is what they were trying to do with Richard. But it didn't work. Just like on January 6th. January 6th didn't work. They did everything behind the scenes to fudge the cases. They were willing to put people in jail for years to fudge the cases, to fudge the narrative, to make it seem like it was like the worst thing ever, you know, and prevent the truth from getting out. And I've known that since that day. Since that day. And they knew that it was going to happen because Donna Martin contacted us the night before. Oh, don't go, don't go. What do you mean? What is going to happen? Why don't you meet me there to stand for Richard? To stand for something, you miserable, miserable criminal. And the same thing happened in Richard's case. They tried to entrap him. They targeted him. They retaliated against him. They called him every name in the book. Jay Paulin called him every name. And he was part of this whole thing. And they had this CCTV footage and they tampered with it. They've withheld so much information from us. From the very beginning, didn't they? And now you have Ray Velarde being assigned to Richard, the whistleblowing soldier on trafficking, to control it, just like Gustavo Sanchez, the Texas Ranger, was assigned to us, and he's connected to the worst, to the same group. Just like Howell, to the same group. CID Howell, connected to the Hearts. Michael Garrett, the 4-star general, General Garrett, connected to so many people in this. They are just so criminal. It's just so criminal. And why were these planes in Santa Teresa Jetport Airport International? Okay, so Santa Teresa International Jetport Airport. Why were these sorry, why were these aircraft tampered with? Why were they tampered with? Why why were the pilots tampered with? Right? Why were they tampered with? Why why wasn't there a legal extradition to bring in El Mayo and El Chapo's son? It was El Chapo's son. And how do these aircraft and the pilots and the numbers and Ray Velarde, how do they connect with Richard's case, with Richard's murder case, with Richard's remains, with Richard's cover up? And how is it that Danae Katzen is on the most wanted list for the third time and that she is connected to the Rochas, that she's connected to the Ortegas, that she targeted Richard, she targeted our family. She's part of KTSM, right? She's part of KTSM. She was at home in KTSM. She knew that building. She had been there. She knew that building. That was at home for her. We were in there for hours with her. There was no unfamiliarity. And Phil Waters, wow, wowzer. Mr. Hawaii Houston, Phil Waters. Uh, yeah. I don't know. It is just going to be, it's such a blessing that President Trump won that election, that he's president elect. It's such a blessing that Christopher Wray had because he knows, y'all, he knows all of this. Christopher Wray did an amazing thing the other day. Look, he is so he is so disliked, I should say that, disliked for all the crime that he has committed with the J6ers. Absolutely, and he should be held accountable for that. But I don't know if it's the art of the deal. I don't know, because what he did the other day was so amazing. That resignation was so amazing because I just have this funny feeling it's the art of the deal, because he made room for Kash Patel. He could have stayed there 3 more years. He could have stayed there at least 1 more year just by stonewalling, you know, for this criminal group, and he didn't. He didn't, and he, like I said, I could not join in on the outcry, the real anger outcry against Christopher Wray that has been happening from the J6 families, which I absolutely, look, they have suffered so much. They have suffered so much. And I absolutely, absolutely understand. And I could honestly say that. Um, but Christopher Wray has done some things in this case that that show that the environment that he was in limited him totally. And I think the J6, the pressure to do the absolute damage, the most damage to the J6ers was just so overwhelming. But with Richard's case, I think maybe he had a little bit more leeway to do the right thing. And I'm not saying he did the right thing. I'm saying that he did some. Look, we received the declaration of death, and also Jaime Esparza could not touch that Walmart case. And there's some real things in this case that show um, yeah, uh, that I think, I don't want to say he did what he could, because the environment, yeah, I can't even imagine the environment that our government has been working within. I know soldiers that absolutely have been put through hell trying to be a decent soldier in this military, you know? So I understand. 30 years Rob was in the military, loads of deployments, um, lots of stories. Oh, I totally understand. Totally understand. So, you know, it is it is going to be very interesting how President Trump handles getting our government and our military um, Americana again, because we've been infiltrated. And I'm not talking about not being a melting pot. We've always been a melting pot. I mean, you can go back to old movies. I love old movies. You could see that we were. You could see that the narrative that has been fed to us, it's kind of like the stupid evolution stuff, you know? Evolution's so stupid. It is so stupid. It is just, and it was just fed and fed in the highest classrooms. This whole thing with the birds and the tree and all these icons of evolution that they just kept showing us and feeding us, and the chart with the little fish that then monkey into man and all of that stuff, that Charles Darwin stuff was and people, it wasn't even required reading to read his book, because it was so racist, because it was so stupid, and it was so boring. It was hard reading. You need about 5 cups of espresso to read through that book. So, and no wonder it's not required reading. But they grabbed onto that false narrative and fed it to generation after generation. And this is how these criminals operate, with lies. They're the father, they are the minions of the father of lies, right? So, the Walmart mass shooting is one lie after the other. Richard's case is one lie after the other. They smear the good people. Look what they did to the only MAGA judge in El Paso County. The only MAGA judge in El Paso County, where numerous people would go to him because they knew they would get a fair shake. They would get um, a just answer, the best, without like a San Medrano, right? A San Medrano that is just delay, 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 making backroom deals, ex parte deals to seal the case, and delay, 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 so you could have an open checkbook and suck people's the state and federal money. You know, who wants a judge like that? He needs to recuse himself. I have that song, Sam Madrano, you need to recuse yourself from the case. And, he needs to be arrested for what he has done with the Walmart case. Absolutely arrested. And of course, I'm biased because I know that the Walmart case is hiding Richard's truth, covering up Richard's truth, and is protecting his delay, 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 is protecting the very people that I believe, because of the evidence, are connected to El Mayo, to the trafficking, to Richard's unit, to the weapons trafficking, to all the things that are up to no good, to the truth. And, maybe it's not as bad as I'm saying. Maybe it's worse. Maybe it's worse. But we need to find out. And Sam Madrano is just blocking it, blocking it, blocking it. And, you know, why is Ray Velarde El Mayo's attorney and was assigned to little old Richard? The narrative that they try to put around Richard, that they try to put around Judge Rodriguez, that they try to put around our family, our other son, it's just, it's like the father of lies, right? It's just is just one false narrative after the other to control the people so that the people don't know what's going on, can't even imagine what's going on, can't even imagine that um, the cartel could infiltrate our system, profit off of our system, control our system, psychologically try to control us so they can keep on controlling the system, that they could make will and deals because of all that money, will and deals within our political system, within our political parties. Yeah, you think Veronica Escobar is just delay or keeping quiet, or she did more than that. She actively obstructed the case. Actively. Um so, the cases, like the suits, the wrongful death suit, the civil rights violation suit, the um on and on. We have a list. We have a list. Um yeah, that you just have to make sure that you have hard evidence, circumstantial evidence, irregularities, you document everything, all of that. Of course, we've had that on our mind so that we can subpoena, so that we can um, get to the bottom of the truth. But when you're in a court, you better have all your ducks in a row. You better have the answer before you even go, because you'll never know who you'll get as a judge. What, I'm going to stand in front of Sam Madrano and not have my ducks in a row? No way. I'm going to say, I have Joe Spencer's audio tapes, Sam Madrano. You need to go talk to Joe Spencer. He won't have a chance. So when we get to the court about the wrongful death suit, when we get to the court about the violations of our civil rights, um, when there's so many, we need to have everything documented. And then, of course, the favorable environment is also important, because I don't think that Daniel Penny would have been acquitted, which I believe he was rightfully acquitted, um, because that the man was, just really a threat. And who knows, what do you do when you face a threat like that and there's families around and children around and everything? You should, you should protect people, and sometimes things will go wrong, right? Some things, but that is you're risking when you're acting violent like that, when you're acting so antisocial, when you're getting in people's face and yelling at them and everything. You risk your life by acting that way. When you go and rob someone's house and all you want is jewelry, you're going to risk your life, because if that person has a permit to carry and they shoot you for trespassing in their house, you're risking your life. But you need an environment that understands that you can't just act a certain way. It's and people in Texas understand this. You have this rape and murder of this young girl, and by immigration violators like Leilani Hart. Leilani Hart is an immigration violator. Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia is an immigration violator. They associate with immigration violators for benefits. For benefits. And, you cannot do these kind of criminal activities and just think you're going to walk away. And, this whole thing with the DPS, we cannot forget, and I know I'm kind of shifting a little bit because something just came to my mind about how you can't just think that you can participate on the people's dime in transferring contraband while using, all these tactical move storage units, these storage units that, remember, that was right, the Texas DPS, right? If I remember properly, is right next to where the convicted criminal Leilani Hart, immigration violator, was getting her mail. Just the right kind of place, nightclub kind of place that you can do money laundering there, you know. Um, so absolutely, one thing after the next in our big puzzle of pieces connect this trafficking together with the infiltration of the cartel with um, very important areas of our government or agencies, 15 plus agencies, right? I wonder how many were sitting there that were involved in this criminal group. Um, and I remember the FBI lady going, "You have to remember to breathe," you know. And I'm like, "You're wearing two masks and you're telling me you have to remember to breathe? Are you kidding me? Where's my son? Where's my son?" You know, it was so insane. Everything was so insane. And so I'm so glad that President Trump is bringing back sanity. And I'm looking forward to working with, Rob is really looking forward to working with Cash Patel, Pete Hegseth. We hope that, we heard, yeah, working with him, we hope they all get confirmed. And then the ambassador to Mexico, um, Ron Johnson, hoping to work with him and, get our son's remains because we have confirmation that partial remains are in Mexico. That was from the Department of State and DHS. Multiple confirmations, and that's not including Nadal Baim, right? Nadal Baim, oh yeah, his was found in Mexico. And I want to make this very, very clear that Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss because that's the information that we have officially. Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss. And so how did he get over to Mexico? He was murdered. So how did he get over to Mexico? Those were his remains. Um how do traffickers travel in these planes? Um why are these planes, these aircraft registration numbers being tampered with? Why are the names of the pilots being tampered with? Why are they in association with El Mayo, um, which is then in association with Ray Velarde? Um, so all of this is being put together uh, by individuals that have the authority, and we're getting more and more information every day. And it's just a matter of time now. We're counting days, of course, until Christmas. We're almost at the third Advent. So we are full mode, preparing, Christmas presents and lights and Christmas tree and Christmas music and the joy. And yesterday I got to go to the Messiah, the choir presentation. Orchestra was there, and the soprano, the alto, the tenor, the baritone. It was just magnificent. Um, really prepares your soul to get um, to stand up to evil. And comfort ye my people, just for people that care. Comfort ye my people. Oh, sorry. Um, it starts that way, right? Comfort. So we had a really good lesson the other day, and fort and comfort, the word comfort, um, means forte in music, which means to give power, right? To give you power. So comfort means to inspire power, right? So comfort ye my people, the great comforter, meaning the Holy Spirit, would be someone that is going to aspire power for you to do what God calls you to do. And that changed everything. And then, so I had that lesson, and then I went and to the concert, and you're like, comfort ye my people, meaning, you know, aspire to power, right? Aspire to power. And if you're a Christian, you absolutely know that God has given us power to become the sons of God, right? The sons of God. So that was so great for the soul. And when you're fighting um, this kind of battle, the battle of um, what can I say? Law, justice, the battle of justice, then you need to have that kind of comfort. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. So, all right, everyone. I hope you're getting comfortable, right? That you're getting comfortable, that you are getting inspired and aspired to take power, to take your power that God has given you, to not think that you are, some random accident. No, you are absolutely made in the image of God. You are purposely and beautifully made. And I hope that you're comfortable, meaning you are absolutely aspired to that power that God has given you. And, and if you have any information about Richard's case, to use that power, to contact us at 941-677-0060. Um, we're going to need all the witnesses that we can get. That's part of us preparing for these suits. But most importantly, oh, come, Emmanuel, right? Um, God with us. Don't forget to get into the Christmas spirit, the miraculous Christmas spirit um, that gives us the power to begin with, right? The power to breathe, the power to live, the power to enjoy. That's where the real joy is. And so I hope you prepare for this beautiful season and enjoy it. And somehow, some way, in all God's timing, the stars in their course, um, they fought against Sisera, right? They fought against Sisera. So they are absolutely, everything is on our side. The stars are on our side. All of nature is on our side. God is on our side. With God on our side, who can be against us? Um, so yeah, I hope you really enjoy this season and light some beautiful candles, um, and sing some of these beautiful carols. Uh, it makes the world a better place. It makes the world a great place. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.